Alrighty. Well, I went to Daiso, as apparently it's properly said. Got a few bits and bobs. Dental floss pick thingy. These are not bad. When I'm stuck in traffic getting bored, I usually use these as a little bit of floss there. In between the U, I don't know if you can quite see it. Yeah. Takes quite a while to go through a pack of these, but often as I'm driving home I'll be flossing my teeth just out of sheer boredom. That was when I was working, but anyway, I don't get to brush my teeth every single day like I should, but I usually get to floss them. Anyway, better than nothing. This here is kelp. You can see they get a little, few bits and bobs. I don't know if it's supposed to be tofu or what it is, and a couple of snow peas, and the rest of it's there is supposed to be kelp. And I've been getting snow peas real nice and cheap. They're actually not too bad if you get them, you just drop them in hot water and then you put them in with fried eggs, which is what I was doing this morning. But you know, usually $5. I got that for $1. But anyway, this video is more about the strange stuff, the Japanese stuff that I've been getting from Daiso. I'll probably have a go at that in the next couple of days. Trouble is, all your instructions are all completely in Japanese, so you sort of just got to look at the, and I think you just soak it and then you drain it. But it looks, I've just finished having something else there. I don't know if you can see a couple of little specks in the bowl there still. That's something else. That's seaweed salad. That's it there. You got clear stuff, a little bit of brown stuff, and a hell of a lot of green stuff. Almost reminds me of silver beet. That's the only instructions I had. I just thought, what the hell am I going to do? So I got a bit of water, boiled the pot. Then once it started boiling, I turned it off and just ripped the packet open, tipped it in. And it actually came out fairly good. It seemed to dehydrate itself. You notice if you got stuff that's supposed to be dehydrated and you throw it in cold water, you won't get the same effect as if you throw it in hot water, where it'll really actually happen properly because of that heat. This is another one that I have no idea of. So you got to realise that 70–80%, well, probably 80% of everything in Daiso is actually made in China, but it's to a higher standard that you're going to get from your dollar store, if you know what I'm saying, or $2 store as we used to call it here. But you know, like your Dollar General style, friggin' Dollar Tree, all that crap. You know, stuff that's better than that, because it's sort of, because it's sold in Japan, it's made to a Japanese standard. So all of a sudden you will notice that your quality of it is a whole lot higher. Even in little things like plastic forks or whatever, you just notice that higher quality. And it's because they can't just, you know, make a dog's dinner of it, because it's the Japanese buying it, and they know that. So they don't give you the same crap quality that they give the rest of the world, because it's all, you know, subcontracted to Daiso. So anyway, this is actually sardines that must have been dried and powdered, because it's sardine stock soup, and this in fact is made in Japan, and yeah, just a big bloody, I thought there'd be like several of them, maybe 3 or 4, but I've just got one giant big pouch. So I think you're supposed to either make up a damn big batch or use it fairly quickly amongst several days. By the way, sardines come from the Italian island of Sardinia, or at least that's what they're named from. Now there's actually bugger all out there in the Mediterranean. Meanwhile, we have astronomical amounts of sardines, and most usually they end up in commercial fish bait or cat food. so yeah, but now we're starting to sell some of our sardines, and they're just, originally it was considered junk fish 30 years ago. 30 years ago it was rubbish. No one even wanted it, And although we've got so many Greeks and Italians out here, nobody gave a crap about it. But when you're a country that's highly populated and whatnot, who's used to living on seaweed and fish and rice and other stuff like that, they also are into sweet potato, believe it or not, but like a purple sweet potato. You tend to, and they do have a bit of pork, and a lot of mushrooms as well, a lot of fungi related stuff, but you tend to gravitate towards these cheap fish things and the cheaper fish, and that's what the Japanese do. Anyway, I'll get this out in the light and I'll show you the other stuff I've got. Yes, another one here. I reckon I can copycat these, but the trouble is it's very, very thin fabric, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass to do with thin fabric doing this, but I just use heavier fabric. But I hope it, I'll have to go for me thinner, heavy fabric, because it may not be able to handle the weight. As some of you know, I have an astronomical amount of windscreen reflectors. I've got literally a whole garbage bag full. I bought about 40 or something at one point, of which I've only used 2 or 3. But this here, I thought about the van and I thought, this might be alright. Little window shade thing, and a lot of this stuff is all about $2.80 Australian, which is probably, US terms, you're looking $2.20 or something like that. Yeah, perfect size for minivans and suction cups, and how they basically do it. It used to all be about $2.80 each, but now they've got some things that are a different price. And what I noticed in a lot of the stuff there is they actually have the price in yen on the damn thing. So the whole we'll keep it all the one price model might not have quite been working out for them. So anyway, this, in a minute. Oh, there you go. That's basically it. You got a string, you got another string there, and you got like those little things you got on the bottom of your hoodie, and then yeah, the suction cups will hold it either side. But I've got a lot of windscreen reflectors, and they all come with suction cups. And of course, I'm not short of a bit of cord, bit of string, whatever. And of course, all this is just like a bloody hell. It's not much more complicated than a pillowcase, really. You've just got your most likely a double hem. I assume it's a double hem on the edges, and then you've just overlapped it up here, and just more or less done buttonholes to run the thing through. But that's something that I could very easily copy. But I sort of thought I want to buy one and just see how they've set it up initially, and then and then I can copycat it without a problem. If I decide to go that way, and I probably won't, because I'm looking more at big bits of sponge, or sort of maybe even a wooden frame with a sponge edging. And I've realised, I've found out that closed cell foam is better when you're in a vehicle and you're creating humidity and moisture, really, with your breath. And so, yeah, might be getting some closed cell foam bits and bobs, but I've also found some of that at a lot of different places have it. Anyway, this is another one here I got. Right over the yen price. They got the normal sticker price. This is a 3.5 litre, 0.9 gallon. It expands out. It's a bit like those bizarre silicon things you see, but that's all corrugated there, and you should be able to open all this up and it should pop up full height. But I thought that'd be a good little one for the van, just for, I don't know if I could really be bothered buggering around with a gallon a minute water pump in a van. Maybe for the shower, of course, but not for the actual just washing your hands and stuff like that, because I don't know if the plumbing will be able to drain out a gallon a minute, and you don't want to be wasting water in a van because it's a lot of weight you got to carry, so you don't really want to have it high flow to begin with. So as you can see, the little instructions here about how she all pops out. But I thought, well, that's a good idea, because I've got a thing up the end. It's basically a car washer. Some of you might have seen that that I'm going to use anyway as an electric water thing. But I thought, no, bugger it, I have this as well, and little tap on it and whatnot. And yeah, so I got that. They got 400 yen there, and then they got a bigger price tag, says 400 yen there. But never before did they have any yen price tags on when I went previously. So anyway, let's keep going in. Oh, you betcha. The soy oil-based mayonnaise. This stuff is fucking brilliant. Some of the best mayonnaise I believe there is, full stop. Oh, what do you know? It has indeed come through a place that I'm not surprised it's come through. Yeah, this is your main ingredient there: soybean oil and egg yolk, distilled vinegar, salt, rice vinegar, water, flavouring, and spices, antioxidant. I'm not joking, this was damn near half the price of what you usually buy it in the shops for, and I just thought, what the fuck? It'll be like $6 or something, and it was like $3.80 or some blasted thing like that. And I just thought, my gosh, I think at a 40% discount we can have that, because I like buying that sometimes. They used to have a different battery pack before, but there are a few of these blowing around, and I did see some other ones. I think they're getting closer to the use by date or something, but oh good, these are going to Daiso 2023 use by date. Well, that's good. Go get all these cheap Chinese ones, and they're bloody shit. And I got a whole shitload for me little lantern, and they're basically, they got a use by date of 2020, and they're already all dead. So, and they've been all dead for the blasted since last year. So they use by date 2020, actual use by date about November 2018. Anyway, 4th of 2023, and these will be better, I believe. They are alkaline anyway. Still made in China, but you see, you got it's going to Japan. So when they say this is the use by date, it's going to be the bloody use by date, not oh who cares. Some Americans are, just buying it in the US and that's it. They got every manner of hooks you could imagine, and I had these little fancy Carbina S-hook things, and one of them cost $2.80, or you could buy 3 aluminium ones, and I thought, oh bugger it, we'll just get these little aluminium ones now. Got ideas about using the handles that are in the roof to get in the van to mount things like curtains off, a bit like the thing you saw, but just different things like that where you can wire up string between them. And I might want to be able to take it out of the way as opposed to have to have it semi-permanent or have to untie something. And I thought, bugger it, the little the carabiners come in pretty handy. So yeah, it works out less than $1 each. So that's about it, except for this last one. Mini frying pan. They had miniature cast iron ones there. I have another one that I got that's supposed to be for papadums or some bullshit. But they've got these tiny little short steel handles that literally only just sit out to about there. And they're bloody bullshit, because you can't lift the damn things up without, putting on some sort of a, tea towel or something to even move them. You know, so mini frying pan. Oh my gosh, it can do induction heating. Interesting. Just says when you're using gas, don't turn it up too high, or you can damage the paint and non-stick coating. Now, I've got a funny feeling there may be Teflon on the inside there, but I look at the back, that really reminds me of enamel camping plates. It's just a cheap little thing. And I'm sort of getting into getting all these little small frying pans and small things, because when you're in a van, you don't always want massive, big... Like, I have 3 different frying pans. One I believe is made in... Now get this, none of them are made in China. I believe one is made in New Zealand, or at least it's a high-end New Zealand company, like a chef's grade type thing, was supposed to be. Another one is made in South Korea, and the other one is made in Texas. And the Texas one, you could knock a friggin' cow out with it. My gosh, it's heavy duty. Salad Master, which I believe was a bit of a, you know, one of those brands that you sort of, bit of a door-to-door. It's a bit like Tupperware, you know, one of those ones where they have parties and it's not exactly normal sales. But that Salad Master, my gosh, you know, all these things are ridiculously heavy. I'll show you the one I've got at the moment, which is a big New Zealand one. Give you a size comparison here. You know, there's some of these things are just not really van-sized things. Raco, R-A-C-O. Don't know if we've got other stuff. It might be New Zealand. Anyway, may well be made in China, but the other two I know where they're made. Look at the bloody size difference. Now the fact is, if I needed, you know, I fried a couple of things in this morning, you know, eggs sitting in about that deep. The fact is I could have probably fried 4 eggs in this anyway. But you don't really want that real heavy-duty, large thing, enormous, big-ass bloody handle on it as you're trying to be in a van, you know. And, no, it's Australian. It's probably still bloody made in China, but I know for the fact the other ones are South Korea and Texas. But anyway, this is Chinese as well. But anyway, sort of getting into these smaller things just for van use, so you can fit them in there, and you don't need to, you know, have huge, big, heavy things just to fry a couple of bloody eggs that you could probably fit in this stuff anyway. So anyway, that's my little Daiso haul. I actually got another lot of toothpicks in the car as well, and yeah.